Welcome back. Now after we knew our Dolibarr dashboard, the main page, and we activated our modules, enter our company information, we need to change some security options for Dolibarr, and we can do that by accessing the security options window using the Dolibarr user menu and click on setup. Then we will go to security. Here in this page we can change the security parameters that we can add or activate or deactivate. Like the first parameter is using a graphical code on the login page. Here this will add like an extra security to our login page. We can activate it. Use advanced permissions of some modules. Here in this option, there are some modules you can have like an extra permissions. For example, when you are sending emails, you are allowing other users of Dolibarr to send emails, but let's say you don't want them to like send attachments, send documents. These, by activating this parameter, you will get like more extra options and permissions for the users. So it's good to have this, so we will activate it. Here in the lower part of the screen we can see the timeout for session. This means that after how many seconds the Dolibarr user will be logged out, the timeout session. We can change it uh, based on our preference. Like if you want like after 60 seconds, if 60 seconds from with no activity passed, the user will be logged out. Okay, so consider how much time you need to log your users out, and you can change it. Here in the password tab, the passwords we can see, I prefer to keep it as it is on the default things. For the passwords, when Dolibarr asks you to automatically generate a password, what kind of parameter do you want to use? Is it the none, like you have to enter your password manually? Dolibarr will not will not automatically generate any password. Or you want to use the perso, you define how the password should look, or the standards, which is 8 characters containing like numbers and alphabetics in lowercase. I'm keeping it to the standards. Here in the other parameters you can see that this is about the encryption of the password. I recommend that you keep it encrypted within the database. Also, in addition to the database, you can activate the password encryption in the configuration file of Dolibarr. We can activate that. And the last one, you can see that it's asking about activation of the forget password link on the login page. For the files, it's here the main thing is the file size for the uploads. For if you want to have like an invoice, to upload an invoice, or some scanned documents into your Dolibarr documents, here is the maximum size, which is set to 2 megabytes. You can change this as you wish. Here is the external access. Dolibarr have the capability that if some of your, let's say, vendors want to access your Dolibarr to place their proposals, these things, to review the invoices, you can give them the access. And here this will set the timeout thing for the external users access. I'm not gonna change that. I will keep it as it is. In the audit we can see what capabilities that we can have, like to control the user login, the user logout, how to create user, the modification of the user. These it's like the capabilities for the user. Here the default permissions, this is also important. Now when you first create a user for Dolibarr, other than you, other than the admin, there will be like a set of permissions. Like these are the default permissions will be given to the user directly by default. So here in this screen you can choose what are these default permissions for your Dolibarr users. You can give them, you can remove them. Let's say I want to give them like an access for read operation in general ledger. If I click the plus sign, it will give me this like the green check, the check mark. That means this permission will be added to the default permissions of the user. So any user I'm creating from now on, he will have the ability to access and to read the operations in my general ledger. I don't want them to do that, to see that. I just click on the minus, and it's gone. They don't have it now. This depends on you and your needs, on your business needs, what permissions you want to give to your users. Just go through these, make a list, define what you need, what your users need, and add them as a default permissions, so they can have it by default once you are creating them. Now we finished reviewing the security setup. See you in the next lesson. Thank you.